Hello, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Another episode with I Am Enter Cloud. I'm your host, Adnan Rafiq from here in New Jersey. And today I have another special guest who is known for his security skills in Microsoft space. So I have another guest all the way from Warsaw, Poland. Welcome to my podcast, Tom Sholeski. I hope I pronounced your name correct.
Fair enough.
And as you're a Microsoft 365 architect and cybersecurity expert, and for our audience, we wanted to know more about your journey. We wanted to know more about the product specific, and you have a specialization in Intune and device management. This is another area which I wanted to cover, which I have not covered in my previous podcast. My first question to you, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do and how long you've been in the industry?
In industry for more than 20 years, and it was always Microsoft stack. And I think that I'm with Microsoft 365 since the beginning, and I have a chance to touch this product more than 12 years ago. I've been asked to help small company from Texas. And it was SharePoint, and this is how it started. And since then, I work only with Microsoft solutions and only with Microsoft 365 and let's say all security rated technologies. And it works pretty well for me.
My next question is, tell us more about Microsoft 365 security feature and capabilities. What are those, and what do you go and deploy in the field?
Sure. So a few years back, I would say 5 years ago, I have a chance to visit the US and be participant of Microsoft Ignite, and then I have to admit that that was my personal opinion, but I thought that Microsoft, and it's not only my opinion, but Microsoft security solution that time, it wasn't something special, amazing, something what wow. It wasn't wow technology. But I have to admit that the journey that they made for the last couple of years, 5, 6 years, it's just amazing, because it's not only my opinion right now, because if you take a look at the Gartner, for example, Magic Quadrant, you will see that as far as I remember, at this moment, there is only one technology which is better than security technologies from Microsoft, and I work with those solutions on daily basis, and I'm really surprised how much effort they put on it, and how many resources they put on it also, because when you go to any solution, Microsoft solution, I don't know, when you go to the Intune or to the Defender, every few weeks you will see something new. Right now, if you go there, you can see that they start adding AI solution to this their Magic Copilot things, to also including security solutions. So every few weeks, every few months, you will find something new there, and it's amazing how huge progress they did. It's really amazing, at least from my point of view, because I watch this progress every day.
So yeah, so tell us, like you specifically work on the MDM, right? Intune,
Yeah, that's right.
mobile device management. So yeah, so tell us more about it. What is Intune basically? What does it do? And then we'll get into the security piece.
Of course. Few days ago, I wrote a post on the LinkedIn that many companies start building rocket science solution for the security stuff. They check all technologies around the world to find the best solution for them, but they don't have a clue about their devices in their network. They don't have a clue what users do on company personal devices, how they connect, what kind of application they install, are those applications legal or no, and so on. And for me, that's before you start building very advanced solution, the first step, the main step, is to take full control over devices which connect to your tenant, to your resources, to your documents, whatever kind of information you store. That's the first
So
step.
Yeah, so that's a good point. So I want to rephrase and correct me if I'm wrong. So what you're saying, before any company go for this fancy tool and do all these stuff, they must do their discovery, asset investigation, what asset they have, how many devices, like mobile devices, laptops, endpoint, and some companies, they also issue their mobile devices to the employees, like managed devices or not, or do they allow their people to bring their own devices? So first they have to start working. These are some of the steps they have to do the assessment before they going
Exactly.
to adopt any new solution, correct?
Exactly. That's the point. The first step is to find out what we have, what kind of devices is going to connect, what users use to connect to the resources, to the teams, email, whatever. So
Mhm.
that's the first step, and that's the main role of Intune. I mean, to take full control over it. I mean, over company devices. And I'm not talking about only Windows devices, because right now
Okay,
Intune can take control over Mac OS, even Linux
interesting,
devices can be managed by Intune. And
interesting.
also Android, iPhones, every kind of device which will get access to our tenant should be somehow controlled, or if it's a personal device, it should somehow be set up to ensure that company data, files, whatever, will remain secure. And that's the role of Intune.
Yeah, interesting point you made, because a few years ago, I do remember they only supported Microsoft. Now you're saying no matter what, if an Android device or Mac OS or Linux OS, regardless. So when we're talking about Intune, it can manage both mobile devices and the endpoint. So it could be a Windows workstation or Mac OS, MacBook, and iPhone.
That's right.
It can be a tablet. It can be an Android phone. So regardless what
Exactly.
devices you have.
Exactly. Exactly. And right now, because that wasn't a case, let's say, a few years ago, but right now, I think that every kind of device which get access could be controlled, could be managed, depends on the IT team decision. And before you start building a very advanced, complicated security solution, you should implement and put in place good MDM configuration to have full control how the system works, what's going on, what's going to connect. I don't know, encryption setting, how device should be encrypted, who should have a, I don't know, basic, I don't know, administrator permission, and so on. All those stuff can be designed, implemented, and managed by Intune.
So I have two interesting questions, which I'm sure you must have seen in the field. So let me break it down one at a time. Device management through Intune. Do I need to have a VPN or just everything on internet?
You can live without VPN, and but in some specific scenario, you can imagine that you need for some reasons, and you can implement VPN. Also with Intune, which means that the VPN configuration could be deployed by Intune itself. But if you are, let's say, the thing is that most companies do not need a very sophisticated security configuration, because in most cases, the basic settings which can be done by Intune in combination with Entra ID for
Right.
most companies will be absolutely enough to remain secure.
So now you also mentioned a very good point, which I wanted to pick up your brain more on the security, data security and data protection, which is very important. So can you walk us through, elaborate what are the data protection security feature for email, for OneDrive for
Sure,
business along those
sure.
lines?
For me, it's another example when people try to find something sophisticated when they have something already in place, ready to use. I'm a huge fan. There's a license, business premium for small companies. You can use this license when you have about less than 300 devices, and you got everything. And when we want to protect any kind of asset, we can, with this license, we can do everything. First step, with the Intune, when we have a new device, we can use technology called autopilot to encrypt a device. I mean, before anyone put anything to this on this device, any kind of file, this device will be encrypted. And then if device will be stolen, I don't know, something will happen to this device, the IT guy can press the button and wipe it remotely. Simple thing. And data will remain untouched. Second thing, we can, there's something called Microsoft PureView. It's
Microsoft PureView, okay.
Yes, and it's still the same license. I don't need to buy anything additional, any kind of additional solution to get this solution. I mean, I can implement something called DLP, data leak protection, which means that if my user by mistake will send an email outside of the company, the DLP policy and the email contains, I don't know, credit card number,
sensitive information,
social number, whatever we can define.
Yes.
And this email will be blocked before it will reach a mailbox outside of my company. That's the thing.
Perfect.
Another, because building security is not like, okay, if someone will tell us that, okay, I'm 100% secure, such person have no clue what he's talking about. The security is the building small puzzles. I mean, we add layer by layer to improve our security, and that's the game, to build, to improve, and that's the process. It's not let's say one project task. It's a process which we have to put in place and constantly improve our solution. This is how it works. And like this encryption, this is a small puzzle. Second thing is that that the files which we send out, we should, for example, define who can open such files. And again, this is the Microsoft PureView role, that if, because imagine that I get a file with, let's say, some salaries list or something like that. I can forward such email with such attachment to someone else.
Right.
In the old times, such person can open and see what is there. But with the, let's say, Microsoft PureView, I can set up that only selected people will be able to open such files. So even I will forward, I don't know, by purpose or by mistake, if I'm not on that list, I will not be able to see the content of this file. That's the thing. Sometimes, from time to time, I because I do some consulting projects to do something different than usual, and sometimes I'm surprised that it's not a small company. They have a, I don't know, E3 license. I saw the case when they have a E5 license, and there is a I don't know, to implement Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, which is included. It requires you to just make small changes to the configuration, create a simple profile, and you're ready to go. All devices will be automatically onboarded. And for me, it was amazing that people had ready to go solution, but there was nothing. I mean, literally, there was nothing. There was no any kind of profile configuration. Every user, for example, was administrator on his machine, which is, you know, it's a, from, let's say, security point of view, is a rookie mistake.
Yeah.
And another example, there is so many companies without MFA in place. Based on the Microsoft research, MFA can reduce about 90% identity credential threats. About 90%.
Correct.
It's not rocket science.
No.
But there is so many companies without MFA in place.
I think the problem is also with the system admins or 365 admins or micro admins. They even don't like to use MFA. This is what I've seen in the environment. 30 global admins. Can you imagine that? Because it will take just one incident to do the damage to the business.
You know, I always said that some people, IT people, business people said that, Oh, we can't buy, I don't know, hardware keys to the users or any kind of other tools which that could perform MFA. So I asked them, can you make a math and tell us how much of your, let's say, I don't know, daily turnover you will lose if your company will be, let's say, I don't know, go offline for, I don't know, a week or something like that. Make a math. It's not rocket science. Just imagine that your company is going offline for a week. What's going to happen?
Yeah. So basically, yeah, what you're talking about ROI. If your business is out of business for a week and it costs you $100,000 versus you have to invest $10,000 invest in the MFA, it's a simple math, right?
Yes,
Do the
exactly.
math and make sure. Yeah, is
And
it really worth it?
another funny, I would say funny excuse that we are too small companies that we will become a target for hackers. No, you are not small, because there are automatic tools which just scan the networks, which scan internet for any kind of the vulnerable system, and that's it. And they don't care if you are a small company or big company, if you are, let's say, I don't know, technology company, or if you just a hospital. They don't care about this.
Okay.
If you are vulnerable, we will try to attack you and, let's say, get some money from you. That's it.
I see. So yeah, that's an interesting question you raised, or information. Usually there is a motivation, but you're saying they will just go after, if you're vulnerable, they will take advantage of your vulnerable machine, vulnerable settings, and just use you.
Of course. That's the magic of that's the magic of Intune, because Intune allows you there's let's say something called attack surface reduction. That's the idea when we can reduce possible way for attackers to get inside our company. There could be different things. I don't know. For example, the most common attack is through the PDF files. With Intune, we can protect us almost for 100% that this possibility will be blocked. It's a simple thing.
So are you saying it's something about the email phishing you're talking about, that scenario, PDF one?
It's not exactly phishing, because in this case we are talking. This example is about malicious attachment. Usually they add some PDF files, and when someone open it, some strange things could happen to your device, and that's it.
Okay.
But usually it relies on create some processes in the system by this file. But with using Intune, I can block this possibility.
Okay. So what you're saying, Intune comes with the set of predefined out-of-the-box policies and configuration with the known attack things, and you can block it. So this is how it can help you reduce the attack surface, because this is known from Microsoft. They keep publishing advisories, correct?
Yes. Also, if we have such package like if free or whatever, the thing is that we have a Microsoft Defender, and there's a console where we can see actual threat which has been discovered. In our configuration, in our, let's say, tenant, and we can take a look. Okay, the system says that I have a few devices which have wrong configuration for, I don't know, Office application, and it's recommended for me to apply some settings. So when I go, we have all those things already there. The thing is just go there, check them, take a look, and just implement. And for those guys, for those cyber criminals, if you are, let's say, protected, fair enough, they will just go somewhere else, because they, okay, if you are a well-known company on the market and you have a very valuable asset inside, then they can take more advanced attack against you. But in most cases, if you have those basic things apply, okay, you are too big challenge for us. Let's forget it. Go somewhere else. That's the thing.
So what are your most favorite policies or configuration in Intune? You think, okay, or you practice to implement in all your customer environment?
There are a few of them. First of all, as I said, BitLocker. The BitLocker
BitLocker.
encryption is the main thing which should be applied, because people lost their devices. Some devices has been stolen. So that's the main thing, that even if our device will be lost, the data on the hard disk will remain safe.
Encrypted.
So that's the first step. Second thing is, and that's another amazing example, because there's something called autopilot, which means that every device will be configured in exactly the same way, with all expected settings, certificates, and so on. Which means that we are just human. So it could happen that, for example, when in the old times, when I prepared a device for end user, I forgot to, I don't know, put some setting in place. Intune, it's a just machine. It's just going step by step and apply all settings which has been defined, which means that nothing will be forgotten. And I think the most important settings, which right now is also available in Intune, is called labs. I mean, we can remove local admins from user accounts, because in all times many users were admins. Now you can remove them, and the local admin account is already there, but no one knows the password for this account. But if IT person wants to do something, it's going to the Intune, click reveal the password, and the password will be generated. But the amazing thing is that when I close this account, I mean, when I stop using it, the system recreate a new password for me. So even the clever user will see what was the password. The password will stop working in the next few minutes. That's the beauty, and
Nice.
that's amazing.
So you made a good point. I like that with the Intune, there's automation. You mentioned about autopilot, so you don't have to do any scripting. Everything is there. Everything is automated. Just select the policies and push it. Whether it's a 50
Yes.
device, whether it's 5,000, it's also the same.
Yes, and if we are talking about money, few years ago, when someone from IT had to prepare a new device or few devices, it takes a lot of time. Right now, I can take a device, go to end user, ask him, please enter your username, password, provide MFA. Okay, let's wait an hour, and that's it. It takes, if you have a good network connection, depends on the configuration, it takes about an hour to make your device ready to use. And also, what is important, there is no need to configure your mailbox, Teams, OneDrive, backup.
Tell me
Everything
about it.
will be
Yeah,
auto.
tell me about it, man.
And what is important, for example, you can configure your OneDrive behind scene, that every single document which I put on my desktop will be automatically sent a copy. The copy will be sent to the cloud, which
Yeah,
means that if my device is lost, I will get a new device, I will log in, and
yeah.
I will get all my documents as I had them in the old device.
No, that's a perfect example. So before I move on to the next question, so you made a very good point. It's with these kind of adopting the technology, increase productivity, reduce human errors, and productivity, of course, as you mentioned, the scenario, the device is lost, the device is already encrypted. So you bring a new device and that's it. Within a few minutes or hours, you're up and running and back to work. So we were talking about offline. So many people I know, they want to start their career or transition their career. But in my experience, 95% of the time, what I've seen, people don't know about these niche skill set and market. People just have a general concept of cloud. So if somebody, in your opinion, what advice would you give it to them? Because again, this is a niche market, the skill set. So what do they need to learn? Where do they need to start from? Kind of something along those lines.
Uh, there are two things. That's a very good question, and actually a very tough question those days, because personally, I think that market is during a huge change. And we heard a lot about layoffs around the world, in US,
Yes.
in Europe, the same. And if you go to the LinkedIn, you will see that there's a lot of discussions, questions. What should I do to get a new project, new job? How to start my journey with IT? And many people only discuss about money, and that there is a lot of open position for the IT people. Yes, somehow it's true, but many people forget that IT is evolving every day. And if you think that you will just learn a few things and you are ready to go, you are wrong, because I work in this business for 25 years, about maybe less, but let's say about 20 years. And I saw so many things. And even now, I have to learn new stuff almost every day, because though let's focus on Microsoft. They add every few weeks something new to their solution, to the Intune, to the Defender, to other, every day. So if you are not someone who like or want to learn, you have a problem.
Absolutely.
And some people want to, from another example is that many people want to start already in the senior position. I mean, I want to be security admin or someone else.
Yeah.
Personally,
Architect. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It doesn't work like, and some people ask me that if I will get this certificate or that certificate, is it possible for me to start my career as a security guy? But they
That's
don't
yeah.
understand that
No.
what's your experience? Personally, the best experience that and that was the very painful lesson very long ago, when I crashed one of the production server by my personal mistake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
it
I
happens.
spent a weekend
To
during
fix it.
in the office to try to restore all those things.
Yeah.
But that was very painful lesson. But I learned so many things during that time. And so before you become, I don't know, security architect, whatever, make your hand dirty. Start
Right.
learning from the scratch. Personally, I think that the best start is to find not too small, but a medium-sized company and start from any kind of position. Because if
Right.
the IT is big enough, sooner or later someone will left, and then you can get a chance to let's say switch the team, switch the position, and so on.
No, I
It's a
like your point
process.
because yeah, because people don't realize and understand whether it's an architect or title or security engineer or engineer role. It comes with a lot of responsibility, as you just mentioned. You don't want to make mistake in the production environment, and even they can build their labs in Microsoft 365 trial version or developer account.
And you made a very critical point about the responsibility, because as far as I know, and I heard such thing, that in the US someone made security, let's say, mistake, and company takes some legal action against this person, because it wasn't, let's say, a simple mistake, but there was I don't know recall the details, but I know that there was a legal consequence against such person.
Yeah, that I think you're talking about SolarWinds. The CISO got in trouble.
I don't. Yes, you are
Yeah,
right.
so now
I
yeah,
don't
the
know
CISO
details,
got
but
in
that's
trouble.
the true story. That's the real case.
Yeah, that's a SolarWind attempt or attack happened a couple of years ago. CISO got in trouble. Now, if you're a CISO for a company, CISO also needs cyber insurance, some sort of insurance. Yeah, so
You know,
that's
let me be clear. I work as an independent consultant, and I have also insurance. I do not pretend that I know everything. And if someone tell me that, oh, I'm an expert, I know everything, I know that he has no clue what he's talking about, because maybe 25 years ago it was possible that you know almost everything, but not
right.
today. That's not
Yeah,
possible.
exactly. No, I do agree with that. And that's a good point you made. If you're a consultant, you want to protect yourself, and this is where the insurance comes into the
Of
play.
course.
So, is there anything you wanted to add before we end this podcast?
No, I mean, I think that's all. I ask anyone, just guys, just check what you have before you start looking for something amazing around the world. Around all those. No. That's not the best way.
Yeah, so again, I really appreciate it, and kind of summarize this. We talked about pretty much the value and the security feature capabilities available in Microsoft 365. Go utilize Microsoft Intune for a device management. It's a niche itself. Go practice around it. And the companies, those who have the license or want to acquire the license, you have automation there. You can increase the productivity. Cost is not that crazy. You have the data protection. All those features and capabilities available in the cloud. Just have some few clicks, and you don't have to set up the infrastructure.
Just get your
So
knowledge.
simple is that, right? So that's the beauty of Microsoft 365 and new features that are coming in Autopilot and Copilot, making life more easier, right? So that's being said, if you like this podcast, leave your comments below. If you wanted to dig more into the device management, I can request him to come back and share more details. But again, we wanted to keep it high level to give you the taste of device management and Intune and Microsoft 365. How can you protect your data? How can you protect your devices? So Thomas, again, I really appreciate it, and appreciate time. Uh,
Thank you.
and it's evening in your area. My area is afternoon, and
Thank
we'll
you
catch
very
up
much.
sometime later. Thank you. Appreciate it.